So what in the world is up, guys? I think this is very, very cool. A sentiment I wanted to share with you all is just that. Something about Alibaba and the likes of this trade war and the likes that Trump has imposed. I mean, it's a crazy feat because this trade war is proposed to maybe even succeed Trump's presidency and the likes. So it could last for many many years. That's what Jack Ma, the Chinese billionaire, the founder of Alibaba, is suggesting that this trade war could literally go on for up to 20 years. And the likes. It's a possibility, at least, to say the least. I mean, to say that's good or not, I'm not really that sure. I think Trump has a basis in economics and the like, so maybe he understands the stuff, and he has consultation from some good minds around him. And I haven't really had a chance to speak with Trump, you know what I mean? So I really don't know, and I haven't really been watching much TV about it, but I know that's probably the least valuable resource about it, about the trade war and about what the strategics is. But I mean, I think there must be strategy to the whole thing, and I think that he thinks we can win because we have so much leverage with just the biggest consumer base in the whole entire world. I mean, Americans just fucking consume, consume, and it's just crazy, crazy feat. But what Jack Ma was suggesting, that the founder again of Alibaba was just suggesting that he was proposing, I believe it was earlier this year or last year that he had a meeting with President-elect Trump, and he totally suggested that he wanted to, stimulate the U.S. economy, to stimulate the U.S. trade, U.S. Chinese trade, U.S. Asia trade, by encouraging Americans to totally sell their products, if it's a unique product that can be sold in China through their resources and their platforms and the likes. So that would be a real good opportunity because obviously there's a lot of good products in the U.S. As far as things that are creative. Sometimes the U.S. has the most creativity in the whole wide fucking world, whether that be imported or whether that be innate and from the inbound borders. But I think that like a lot of creativity and talents coming out of the borders of the United States. It's amazing feat. That's you and I. That's us. That's all the above. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a pretty cool plan and the likes to maybe stimulate a little bit of the growth and not only have a trade deficit but also have a trade start to accumulate trade surpluses and the likes. But what do you guys think of this trade war? Oh my gosh, I mean, I haven't really researched into it too much. I read an article and the likes, but I mean, if someone's more in depth, like if you're in fucking Mr. President Trump's headquarters and the likes, and totally hearing the strategics, I had someone tell me literally that the trade war can be literally be won. And that suggests that it's going to get better deals for the United States. Which, I mean, the United States is already a fucking powerhouse. But, I mean, China is headed towards becoming a powerhouse, too. I mean, they don't have the militant... they have a lot of militant prowess. But at the same token, the U.S. just spends so much money on military that it's just fucking bonkers. But I think that, at the same token, the trade war could be won. And, like, you could get better deals. But for the meantime, everybody's got to suffer, both China and the United States, on a small degree. But shit, have I noticed? I haven't noticed. But I think to some extent, some people are more elastic than others, and I think that some people are noticing, especially some businesses that are mostly affected in the likes. So I think that is of importance. I think that is critical, and I think that we'd have to. That would be a powerful move to get Trump on my podcast. And look at the quality of this. This is not the highest tier. Sometimes that it doesn't have to be the highest tier to make the largest impact. It just has to be the most valuable sentiments, and that sometimes is what gets the most value. But at the same token, all things in due time. I think there's a lot possible for the smartest among us. That's you and I, those following and seeking truth, power, and acknowledgement. And not acknowledgement. Knowledge, and the likes. So I think that there is a ton of potential here, and knowledge and information is the crown fucking jewel. It gives you the most perspective potential to be anything you want it to be in this world. And I think this world needs more excellence. I've suggested this before in a prior podcast, but there's nothing wrong with excellent police officers. That's good. That's good, good, good. There's nothing wrong with excellent lawyers, people that excel, that people that like that maximize whatever, man. Just being talented is just a beautiful thing. Excellent anything is good. But sometimes if it's not your passion, it's hard to be excellent at it. But I think as a general statement, as a blanket statement, we can really become good at anything we are to attempt. And practice over long terms. I think what's been suggested to me by a good friend of mine. A friend of mine that was one of my close, dear friends as a child. He's an engineer now at this point, and he's doing very, very well for himself. He's a very, very intelligent dude. Probably made some money off this stock boom that Trump has initiated and the likes. So I think it's all good. I haven't spoken to him in a moment. Sometimes I stick to myself and the likes, but I think that a general guideline is just that, and that is he shared with me a sentiment that he probably read in a book or it was suggested to him. Because he's not really as creative as me, but he's just very, very intelligent, and the likes. So that's admirable. And I think that what it amounts to is that he suggested that it takes in an email we're proposing to see if there's any opportunities out here for anything that's to come up, and the likes. This was a while ago, but nonetheless, there's always opportunities to arise, and you want to jump on them as soon as they come, and sometimes have a team. A co-op and a network of staffing and the likes that can totally help you take it to the highest extent and maximize, absolutely dominate, absolutely maximize efficiency and the likes. And I'm sorry this audio quality is so poor. I think it's being recorded through these shitty like jankety. I love the word jankety. Do you love the word jankety too? Oh my gosh, the word jankety is so funny. Like I've invented several words and people didn't even give me credit. That's what the worst part about it is. You know what I mean? I invented slang words. I'm not even gonna go there because it's a touchy subject. But creativity is one hell of a thing, man. One hell of a motherfucking thing. And I think that these speakers are so fucking jankety that fucking you can barely hear me. You're probably like, huh? What the fuck is he saying? But anyways, back to the proposed plan is just that. It takes 10,000 hours. And I'm sorry for smacking the table so much. I know it's making probably a ruckus into the echo-ness of the speaker concentration, but I think what it amounts to is that it takes 10,000 hours of anything to become world pronounced at it. To become world renowned at it. You can be good at anything you practice, but let's make sure we practice the right things, especially if you get those 10,000 hours out of the way early, as a child. And that's what's good to initiate as parenting. I think that I'm always talking about parenting a lot because I think it's just so important. I think parents and like having great influences is really the indicator of how someone's going to turn out and the likes. As far as what their prospective potential is because you can have all the potential in the world. Like has been suggested in quotations, there's nothing more prevalent than wasted talent. Wasted talent is so fucking prevalent. And I think that this is partly due to because they didn't have the direction to channel it. And some people will, this is not an absolute, this is a generalization, but I think that it's so true that, you need direction. You need to have direction and have some guidance and maybe a plan set for yourself and also some empowerment. There's too many people not being empowered, and that's what leads you to a shitty life and the likes. And I love it. I love to see when a person even comes from like that's why I love hip hop music so much, because a lot of people come from single family households and the likes, and it's not perfect situations and the likes, and struggling and the likes, and at the same token they turn that into newfound principalities. I know there's so much terrible stuff in the art, and I admire some things and the likes, and I understand a lot of things because I understand that you're not who you are. Literally, listen to this. You're not who you are because, someone there's factors at play. There's things that channeled you, and there's factors at play that totally made you who you are. There's a reason I can get on here and just not have anything written down and not not have did any preparation of the likes, and I can totally just get on here and just talk so candidly in the likes. That's a skill set, but it's like that's innate because like some people have high intelligence and the likes. I think that's of value and that's cool. But at the same token, sometimes it's the factors externally that lets you initiate that potential that you prospectively had. You know what I mean? Like I think that's so critical. And it's just that I think this world needs more people that flip the script. I'd like to see changes. Like I think Obama when he got into his it's all blurry. Sorry about that. It blurred out for a second. That's a terrible disgrace. I think I'm moving. I'm moving too much. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I'm moving too much. But I think what it amounts to is that I think Obama when he got into the administration was totally talking about changes. And the law didn't change, but the stock market boomed 300%. And shit like certain indexes did. So at the same token like. And he, like, this is, like, I was so young, like, I'm still pretty much a young man, but now I'm starting to get smart, in the likes. And before, like, Obama literally got on fucking the stage and said, yeah, now that it's such a terrible recession in the likes, and things have really, really crashed, and it's at a real all-time low, not all time, you know what I mean, but like all time low. He literally got on stage. If you were paying attention, and no one's fucking paying attention these days, and I wasn't paying attention back then, but I'm paying attention now. You know what I mean? And literally, what he suggested back then was like he literally said this, and this is open information. If it wasn't open information, the SEC would come arrest Obama, and they're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're not going to do that. But what it amounts to is literally he suggested that this is a really, really good, strong time to invest in the markets. And guess what happened to the markets? $10,000 turned into $30,000 over an 8-year period. $100,000 turned into $300,000 over an 8-year period, or $280,000 over an 8. His presidency was 8 years, so I think an 8-year period of the stimulus package and the likes. And that's predictable. At the same token, you don't have to be an economist to understand the procedures of how stimulus packages benefit the markets and totally stimulate the economy, and to a whole extent that businesses are going to prosper. But at the time, I didn't realize. I wasn't as adept enough, and no one explained it to me. So at the same token, it was a total disgrace that I didn't take advantage of that. And Obama was a solid president. I think he was such a good speaker, man. Like I think he was really good at speaking, and that's cool, But at the same token, nobody's perfect, in the likes, And I think Trump has even had this bitch booming too, man. Like shit's gone up. Like stock prices for some stocks have gone up 6x in just 6 months. That's fucking crazy. So you have to be intelligent. Like I know it's been suggested that you totally, should pick the buy and hold strategy over like the day flipping, the day trading flipping shit, like and just being intelligent and having assessing the value of a company and its worth, and then also its stock price, and then also its future valuations. That's a risky environment. Nonetheless, like I've had a lot of success with it. I mean, at the same token, like, and this is under Trump's presidency, like, he totally has this bitch booming, man. Like, Trump has this bitch booming, but I think, like, like, you just got to be intelligent out here. And I think, at the same token, nothing lasts forever. Things come to an end, and no one knows the fates of the market. The market is hard to, like, as it's been suggested in a book I read, Walking Down Wall Street, or A Random Walk Down Wall Street, it totally suggested that, it's really like incredibly like unreliable to try to like outperform the markets. The markets is gonna do what the markets are gonna do, but at the same token, like I've been outperforming it. So I think like I'm not sure, man. I think I agree with the sentiment that the book suggested, but like I think that if you like have a good sense of things, like thinking about like we're headed towards the digital age, so you think about companies that are gonna be digital and that have had some success and that are going to be even more digital and more lucrative as more people come to adopt the principles and procedures and platforms of these medias and these platforms and these e-commerce sites and the likes. So that's what I've been having success with. But at the same token, nothing is promised. And at the same token, the markets may eventually fall off. I really don't know, man. I've never seen anything like that as a millennial. as soon as the recession was happening when I was a child, for Obama's administration, Obama got this bitch booming. So like I think like I mean there's gonna be corrections. There's always gonna be corrections. There's already been corrections thus far, but I think you can't keep just like fucking giving steroids to the economy. You know what I mean? Can you just keep giving steroids to the fucking economy? Like, I mean, if they can, like, I'm all about it. I'm not. I mean, I'm not stressing. Like, I mean, I'm not really worried about it. But at the same token, like, I know things don't last forever, and sometimes there is problems and the likes. So, we'll see how it progresses and the likes. And I'm not sure, man. I read in a blog post. I follow a lot of blogs myself, just to keep my ears to the streets. And literally, a guy suggested that he wasn't participating in the markets at this point because he thinks there's too much problems. And is there problems? Oh my gosh. Not just champagne problems, not just money counter problems, but there's a lot of fucking issues at hand. And these need to be solved before and corrected before you start, taking extreme risks with this gamble life, this gamble life. You know what I mean? So I think what it amounts to is that I just don't want to see these winner companies that I've been, benefiting off of lose in the short term, even though they're winners, and even though they're set up for the millennial age and the Generation Z to utilize them and get more and more adapted, and that creates more and more higher stock prices. It suggested that like like I really don't know. Like I still haven't read the whole book of Walking Down Wall Street. I still have like a lot of the book to go. It's a pretty big book, So I think like I'm gonna read more about it, and it's just an investor's guide. I suggest you read it. I mean, if you can handle the context, and the likes, I might read it again after I read it this first time just to get a mastery of it because I've been kind of distracted in the likes. Sometimes you have less comprehension than usual. That can be a detriment, but nonetheless, it has some really, really good examples of the past, and the past is the best predictor of the future. Blew my fucking mind, baby. Blew my fucking mind. So I think what it amounts to is that, there's so much potential out here, and, work hard. And at the same token, be a good person of respect, and be a good person of integrity, and be a hardworking person, and get your brain right so you can be an intellectual person. And there's so much opportunity for you, even if you're fucking marginalized, even if you're fucking belittled in the likes. You can still, if you be intelligent and learn about investing in the likes, if you could get yourself into a position where you're just getting the moderate wages in America, the moderate salaries in America, and the likes, then you totally can generate multi-millions of dollars easily over a lifetime. Easily over a lifetime through real estate and investing in the markets, and the likes. And no one knows what the markets are going to do, but at the same token, if you just play a long-term game, it's been suggested that over the short term, or the short-term investors are trading their wealth to the long-term investors. This is the wealth transfer between the short-term investors and the long-term investors, and the long-term investors are winning the fuck out. So I think there's a lot of potential out here, and it's super cool, man, and it's super fascinating. And I wish I would have learned about this stuff a little earlier in life, but I was 18 when I think I was 17 and 18 and 20 and shit when Obama was the president. So that's not a young kid, or I was like 16 or something like that. I'm not sure. It was like 2008, right? Or something like that. So, I was 17. I was 17 when he became the president. And what it amounts to is that he literally totally got that bitch booming, So I wish I would have participated in that when I turned 18, or I had someone participating in it for me. But a lot of people are a little bit skeptical of the markets, and a lot of the differences between like the highest tier wealth brackets, and then the middle class, or even the lower classes, is just that stock market participation, and also real estate acquisition, and also business ownership. And business ownership is just stock ownership too, at times, But I think having a business that's going to generate you a little bit of side income or full-time income or the likes, and they can grow over time, is generally one of the pillars of wealth, and is of so much value in the likes. So I think there's so much potential out here, and I think what it's worth is that we gotta stay optimistic and realize that there's so much opportunity for promotion, but does it take hard work? If you weren't, a trust fund baby and the likes, then yeah, it may take a lot of hard work and dedication to your job and the likes, or to your business and the likes. And I think the business will take a lot of hard work, but you'll see even more benefit. But even if you dedicate your life to corporation and the likes, and totally, maximize income and promotions, and even if you don't get to the highest tier, but you get to a wage or salary level that's a little bit lucrative in the likes, then you can totally create so much stuff with yourself through real estate and the likes, as long as you don't, go too crazy with having a ton of babies and the likes. You can do so much. So be careful with your seed and the likes, and make sure this is a valuable sentiment that should be suggested to all the youth out here. So if you're a young lad or a young girl that likes, just realize that that person that you may be mating with, literally, like, is like, you want to make sure that this is a person that you actually care about and likes. It's not all about just pleasures. But being only strictly pleasure seeking is a total characteristic trait of that animals have. Animals are strictly pleasure seeking and the likes. So let's try to be a little bit expanded from just a mere animal. You know what I mean? Like, the only difference between animals and humans is literally the difference between just seeking pleasure and also seeking, like, being able to think and formulate and strategize for the future and the likes. So just realize that, like, if you mate with a woman and you don't love her and the likes, then it's totally a disgrace, because and it works out that way depending on your situation and the likes, because you have to deal. It's gonna bound you in history. Oh my gosh, that's being bound in history with someone you don't even like, that you hate, that's a bitch. That's just a terrible person, or just a fucking leech, or a fucking the likes. Is a terrible disgrace. And make sure you make smart decisions out here and respect yourself, man. What is the characteristic of kings? Respect. Have respect for your fucking self. My fucking quote, baby. So that's what it amounts to. I'm gonna let you go now. I'm rambling again, and I don't want to ramble too much as we delve deeper into conversation and the breadth of conversation. But I think that what's so important is that we just expand our minds, keep learning, and learn that today, to get rich, you have to literally be an investor over long-term periods. And the only way to get short-term money, like satisfactory, that's not going to be a detriment to you, the youth, and everybody else, and not be a fucking monkey out here, or a fucking fool, I should say, excuse me, is to literally just that, start a business and run it successfully. And sometimes the most important aspect of a business is adding value, maybe 2x the value, maybe 3x the value. And 10x the value is what I would say, because I like those big numbers. I'm like, we're gonna add 10. Like, they give us $1, we're gonna give them $10 worth of value. Fuck it, man. We gotta fuck this bitch up. Like, that's the type of attitude I have. But at the same token, I know that that's kind of ambitious and the likes, and I think that's the way you should be. But at the same token, like, if you aiming for 10x the value that you give them for every dollar, or every $100 or whatever, that's what you should aim for. But at the same token, sometimes you can only give them 2x value, and that's still so satisfactory that you could run a $100 billion business, $100 million business, $1 million a year business, $100,000 a year profit business, and the likes. Even side income, like $10,000 a year business. You know what I mean? So I think this is so valuable. And these are sentiments and principles at hand that are so lucrative. This is the crown. I'm sharing with you the crown fucking jewel. This is where the power lies. Do you realize that? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna be genuine. I've never felt more power than when I read in 1 month more books than people have read in a lifetime. And you can ask the likes of Warren Buffett's and the Bill Gates and the whole fucking ordeal that they love reading and finding information, because it gives them the power that they have to become $1 trillion company owners, to become billionaires, 100 billionaires, to become 100 millionaires and the likes, and that comes from seeking knowledge and the likes, and there's a lot of power behind that. So have some respect for your fucking self, have some respect for fucking everybody, but fear nobody. I think I'm gonna go back to the hip hop. Oh my gosh. So for what this is worth, I'm gonna go back to the hip hop, and what the hip hop suggests is literally I think it was totally Nas. Nas suggested that, you know, respect all, fear none. My pride is everything. You know, so have some fucking pride in yourself, and regardless of what you do, working hard is never unadmirable. Like you belittle the man that works hard and takes care of his business and handles his responsibilities, even if he's marginalized, then you're a fucking fool. You want to just be lazy and shit, like. Well, more power to you, but like, you know, fuck that, you know, like get off your ass. Like, I mean, I think you got to just fucking grind, man, and be motivated and realize that, like, you know, all it takes is 21 years and you can live the rest of your life as a fucking champion. 21 years of dedication, you can literally just get into something that's unstoppable as far as real estate empiring or the likes, or having such like, depending on the, you know, especially depending on if you make a high salary for those 21 years, there's more millennials than ever retiring, like in the technology sector, retiring at 35, retiring at 40 in the likes, you know, so anything is possible. And I think that even if your wages aren't super high, but they're lucrative, and you stay diligent on saving and investing and totally buying real estate and then totally leveraging that real estate to buy more real estate, like Donald Trump in that here. You know, I can't wait to get my Donald Trump on, man. I'm so excited to get my Donald Trump on, man. Like, and then, like, you know, and then even if it's to a lesser extent, you know, it's all possible, and it's all easy for the smartest among us. It's all easy for the hardest working among us. It's all easy for those that have integrity, all those that have honesty, and totally all those that are just quality people, you know. And I think you are a quality person. So I think if you be a quality person, you think you're a quality person, and you have respect for the game, you know, the potential is fucking limitless. The potential is fucking limitless. So even if you're marginalized right now, just realize that, like, fuck that. If someone tells you suck, fuck that, they suck. If someone tells you it wasn't good, fuck that. You know, maybe it wasn't good, but I'm gonna do better. Fuck that. Like, you know, like, just fuck it, man. Like, not fuck it in the sense that I'm gonna quit. Like, fuck it. I'm gonna work harder and fucking grind harder and get 10x better. And like I would suggest, you know, as I would do in absolute context, is just that 100 times fucking better. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I like to think. So I'm gonna start exercising more, and I think that's gonna help me. I'm gonna start meditating more, you know, to the higher being, you know, to you know, to God, where all this world comes from. You know what I mean? So, you know, this world is so perfect. Let's not take it for granted, you know, and let's not destroy the world. I know big business is the likes, and I had sometimes, like, I was going through a stint there where I wasn't recycling in the likes, and sometimes I'm just being honest. Does this make me look like a bad person? Maybe, you know, but I'm 26, you know, I'm not perfect, you know, and plus I'm pretty lazy at times, you know, like, not lazy that I don't want to work, but lazy that, like, you know, like I just haven't been given a fuck, you know what I mean? Like, but I think that, like, you know, throwing bottles in the trash can, like bottles of plastic water bottles. I drink a lot of water. Like, speak of the devil, I need to go grab one. But I think I drink a lot of water bottles, and it's totally a disgrace because I totally like know that doesn't decompose for fucking a million years. So am I running the planet? Maybe a little bit, but I think we'll survive. And at the same time, I have a water machine, so I totally, like, can just refill the water jug after I clean it, and it totally is BPA free and totally protects the planet. So I think I'm gonna get back to that. It's just my machine's been, like, a little bit tainted. The water rotted and it just kind of stained the machines. I need to totally find out a way. I need to call the company and find out how to clean it. This is random. Do you love it when I ramble, or do you hate it when I ramble, baby? Oh my gosh, so perfect. So I think we'll talk soon. I appreciate you checking in. Let's see if I don't think I have anything else to suggest. You know, I just been rambling, but a fun fact. I just read this in an article. It's so cool. It totally suggested that Jack Ma, the owner and founder of Alibaba, is stepping down. And I've suggested that in prior podcasts, but he literally was an English teacher before he got into that ownership of such a large, like, $400 billion company and the likes. You know what I mean? So I think that's super cool, and I think English is so cool, man. Like, I love English, you know. But, you know, if I ever get around to having children and the likes, I want them to know Chinese and the likes and be multi-talented. You know, I think that's, but, like, and that this needs to be initiated at a young age, because, like, I think that you know, it's hard to learn once you're older, man. Like, I learn all the time, and I'm really good at learning, but at the same token, like, it's not as easy as when I was a kid, man. Like, I soaked that game. It becomes, like, part of your nature. Like, what the principles you're taught as a child So if you teach your children the principles of finance at a child, and you teach your children Chinese and French and German, whatever the fuck, like Swahili, whatever the fuck is good with your culture. I mean, I think some languages will have more benefit than others. In this new economy that's to arise, and especially with China be like forecasted to be like a major predominant player. They already are the number 2 most robust economy in the world, but I think that they could go to number 1, but I think America's so fucking aggressive that it'd be hard to overtake America. You know what I mean? America's so fucking aggressive, man. So, it has its benefits, it has its motherfucking detriments, and everything has strengths, everything has weaknesses. But we got to work on our strengths, maximize them, and work on our weaknesses and let them progress. And that's the note I'm gonna leave you on. Oh my gosh. So thank you for checking in. Invite others to the conversation. Throw some hearts down here. Throw some likes down here, and totally suggest others to join the conversation because it's one of the most valuable sentiments in the game. I believe that. And even though the quality may be a little bit higher tier on my computer than when it goes to YouTube, I don't know why it gets distorted when it goes to the YouTube channel. But when it goes to the YouTube channel, it's a little bit lower quality. But I still think it's palatable, right? It's palatable, and I think that it's gonna suffice. And I think that the message is so potent. I just love that potency, like bam, where it hits you, and it's just like, it burns, baby, it burns. It feels so good. It feels so good. It's just amazing. So I think that's the value of it, and I think once I get some, I've been meaning. Shout out Rode microphones. Shout out Rode microphones. It's RODE. They're the fucking shit, man. And I think that I'm gonna get another Rode microphone, a couple more microphones, and totally proposedly invite some other people to the conversation. Some people that have value to add, and that I can bounce ideas off, and they can bounce off ideas off me, and in front of you, maybe not on camera, but at least on voice. And totally, what that will amount to is just like bettering the world, and that's all my aim is to make the world a better place, for me and you and everybody that wants to just be a decent human being, and the likes. I know it's not perfect, and I sometimes go crazy thinking about how many imperfections there is and all the issues and all the problems at hand. And all the painstaking in the world, but sometimes there's value in proposedly businesses that can be spawned off solving those pain points. So, keep that shit in perspective too, and maybe you make yourself a rich lad, a rich young girl, a rich woman, and the likes. So at the same token, we'll talk very soon. Realize that there's so much potential out here. We're all growing still. Most of us are pretty young at this point. Some of you are 13. Some of you are 18, some of you are 25, and some of you are 70 fucking years old. But either way, stay young at spirit, stay young at heart, and forever. That's what keeps you youthful. It's the fountain of youth, baby. It's the fountain of youth. So we'll talk very soon, and appreciate you so much. Okay, peace.